Good evening, guys, and good morning to the guys in the US. This is real time, just after 9 a.m. in Seattle, West Coast slash San Diego area where we are at now, the whole West Coast side. And this is kind of a deja vu episode, but it is the official episode 1 of the Grand Tour where I am just going to live a dream. And I'm going to fly all the way from San Diego to Juneau. If you watched the stream last night, you would have a pretty good idea where we're going to. But I looked at the stream this morning and I thought to myself, you know what? I can make a better presentation than I did last night, and then started fiddling and started doing a couple of things. So I'm going to show you a little bit more, uh, stuff about the scenery that I use, stuff about the actual flight plan and so on. So somebody asked me today why a 182. I think let's start with that question. It's very simple. It's an A2A model, so it's very realistic and very nice to have and to fly, and got all kinds of bells and whistles that we can play with. Secondly, I've got the Flight 1 GTN 750, a Garmin GPS built into this aircraft. And thirdly, I can export all my flight plans from Little Nav Map in a Garmin format and then import them into this fancy GPS. Alright, so there's no real spectacular wow reason. Those are just a culmination of a couple of reasons. So here we are in the 182. When I did this tour, the predecessor about 2 years ago, I did it in the Cirrus SR22 GT5 at the time, and it was okay and it was nice coming down from the north to the south. But I didn't want to do it again in one of those aircraft. So this is second best, I suppose. And having all the features and all the nice toys, it's a powerful little aircraft. It can go over the mountains where we need to go over them, and we can just enjoy the ride with it. So that's a couple of reasons. Then obviously in the preview I showed you the one flight which we're just going to recreate now, going to Catalina, and if there's enough time we might end up at Santa Barbara later on, and we're just going to take it slowly and surely. Another thing I want to quickly talk about is the schedule for this whole tour. I said briefly in the previous stream last night, maybe I'm going to do that on a Saturday evening. So I've rethought about that. That's our local time, obviously, I'm talking about. I rethought about that. I want to do Zibo rather on a Saturday. I've made agreements with certain people that will do Zibo in the morning for the center of the earth hemisphere kind of a situation, so we cover Europe and South Africa and catch a couple of guys that's up late in Australia, New Zealand. So that'll be the morning show, our mornings, and then in the evenings, which will be the American mornings, we'll just continue with the Zibo. Otherwise those guys are never going to see me fly the Zibo. Because of the time zone differences and all. So I don't want to upset that, and I think the best time to do these GA flights, and because it's just a personal dream and I'm not sure if anybody's actually going to watch these streams, by the way. Some might, I don't know, we'll see how it pans out. This is more of a personal thing, so I'll rather do that on our Sundays, because if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't happen, it's not the end of the world, and then at least I don't interfere with any Zibo people out there looking for Zibo flights. I think that makes sense. That's a whole lot of rambling so early in the show, but I had to get those things out of the way so that we can concentrate on actually flying. Hey Jaco, welkom my maat. Ek's bly om te sien jy is hier op die stroom. Ek sit nou maar met myself en praat terwyl ek nou sit en wag vir mense. So is goed om te sien jy is hier. Alright, so back to English. Let's quickly have a look. See, this is now San Diego. All the scenery that you guys are going to see in this tour is going to be Orbx, because obviously an Orbx tour, and they've been in my library for a long time and I haven't really used them, so that's another reason why this tour is actually important to me. I've got to use something that I buy I suppose. Hey, Miles. Yeah, I'm all right, thank you. Nice to see you here. I'm rambling on. Yeah, I'm about to show you guys a bit of the scenery. Um, let's get some elevation here. So what we have here basically is the whole of the Orbx San Diego. It was updated not so long ago, so it's much better on the frame rates. Um, gives nice performance. I disabled my AI traffic because I did not realize that my frame rates were going to be so good in this area. So I don't care, it's okay. We don't need them. Those are just static aircraft standing over there. Miles, not right now, maybe a little later on. I'll tell you when I've got a moment for Discord, okay? So, part of what happened last night is I did not know that I can actually have a free camera setup like we are using now from Chaseplane, which is the camera add-on for P3D. And I didn't know I could do things like this. So I thought, well, I figured that out. I might as well come and show you guys a little bit more of the scenery. And I'm then going to do that with all the airports that we visit. We're just going to briefly look around, see what the guys have put in here. We can obviously see they've put in a lot of effort to try and get this sorted and enjoyable for us. We've even got an aircraft carrier here. When I hold my shift button, this hat switch really moves quite fast. So we've got a nice city, and then we've obviously got a nice airport. It's always a challenge coming in over this little hill over there to land. Makes for nice fun. Very nicely done in the scenery here. Our marina. You know, when you just spawn at an airport takeoff or you just land there and log off the simulator, you don't get to look around and see what's here. So I'm actually very glad I figured out how to use this camera in this instance, you know, to see how it works. To fly around a little bit like Superman. All right, so that's the overview of the scenery and the whole area that Orbx gave us here. Let's quickly get our map on to the screen here. All right, so this is what we're looking at. It is 4,270 nautical miles all the way from San Diego at the bottom here, right up top to Juneau. So it's going to take 42 flight legs to visit each one of the Orbx airports that I own. And we're going to do a bit of a zigzag, come down again, go up, and just have some fun. Some of these legs are quite long. 490 nauticals is the longest one there. So that's typically something you put up, you know, in the afternoon, Sunday afternoon, our time, you know, and then it must just run, you know. And I just want it on video record, so that's part of the idea of putting it on a stream. Not sure what we're going to do to keep ourselves busy, you know, in that time, but we'll take it as it comes. One of the nice features of Little Nav Map is it shows us all the peaks and valleys here and the minimum heights, altitudes that we need to be at. So we're going to have to make special provision when we go over these high areas. That's about the highest area there at Jackson Hole. All right. Miles, I'm not going to use the schematics plane. This is a Cessna 182 that we're using. I have not had the privilege of finding anybody who is willing to actually make me a schematics livery for this one, and I haven't asked Jacques because I haven't spoken to him yet. So maybe during this whole tour, somewhere along the line, I will get a proper schematics skin, and then we just start using that. But for now, we're just using the normal A2A skin that was given to us. Alright, so without further ado, let's quickly load leg 1, which is this one over here. Exactly the same flight as last night, with the added benefit of we're going to look around at the Catalina scenery in a way that we couldn't do last night. So, takeoff, this thing is sensitive. Takeoff, go VOR to VOR. There is an airway there, and we're going to end up at Catalina. I'm using historical weather because currently in the US, in that area, it is pouring. There is one hell of a storm. So there is absolutely no way that we would be able to do this flight in real weather, but it's obviously real weather, just historical weather. We're using the weather from yesterday, and as you guys can see, it was actually rather a very nice day. So we don't have any issues with rain and visibility. Unless, of course, active sky is not giving us the same thing and, cheating us there. But I believe it will be fine. Miles, where do you stay? Sure, but wait, look, if you look at this map, right, there is San Diego. See, there's San Diego, and there is our airport of destination at Catalina Island. And if you look at this coverage here, it's not a good idea to fly in a red band. So this is why we're using historical weather. I mean, that thing tells us we've got like 10 meters visibility, which is ridiculous. Oh, that's crazy. We're not going to fly there. Not with real world weather. So, hence, we're going to use historical weather. Exactly. Exactly. And we don't want to crash. Right, so let's quickly show you guys a couple of other things. Just going to get outside of this aircraft again. Alright, so with chase plane, and this is all stuff I learned overnight, which I didn't know yesterday, I can actually walk around very nicely. You can actually see the hop in my step there as I'm actually walking around. Right, I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually familiar with this aircraft, so I'm just going to give you a quick show. Right, it comes with a couple of control panels. Initially, we can always see our cabin temperature, and we can then set it. It actually responds to the settings in the aircraft. So that's one of the other reasons, like I said earlier, it's very realistic. So the immersion is just much better than to just take a default little plane and just go horse around with it. We want a bit of immersion. We want a bit of realism in this whole tour. So as you can see, it's also tied down. We've got a couple of options to go cold and dark, which we've done over here, which will then produce all the tie downs and pitot covers and everything for us. Apart from that, we've got a load system here where we can actually load passengers. I'm just going to take one person with me, and then we can obviously top up the fuel a little bit. We're going to go take approximately 60% there. All right, 62%. And we obviously want some baggage because we need some clothes and stuff to take with us. All right, then Miles, it's pretty small, but that's the whole point. We've also got the hangar where we can actually see the shape that it's in, and we can look at a couple of things. Failures are modeled in this aircraft. If you abuse this aircraft, it's going to bite you. You're going to have to come here in here, and you're going to have to fix whatever you broke. You're going to have to top up the oil, do whatever you need to do. If you really break it, there's a complete overhaul button over here, and it will just fix it for you. And then obviously we've added a whole bunch of things in there already to make life easier and better for us. It's gonna bite you in your bottom if you're not careful with this thing, because something will break. That's the point of the whole conversation. It's just not a toy in the sense of an ordinary simulation plane. This is just one step a little bit more better. Right, so what we can then do is we can obviously start removing all these things. Let's put sunglasses. Can go to automatic. Alright, and something I didn't show you, which I can just quickly show you, is you can actually do a proper pre-flight with this aircraft as well. So talk about study level. That's something that you can really look at. So let's show you that. Which one is it? Over here. So we can actually do a complete walk around, and we can actually check everything that we need to check. We can see that there is no damage, and then we can go to the next thing. Etc. etc. We're not going to go through that whole story. It's really not necessary now. We might as well get in and get going. Also, one of the nice things about this aircraft is if you actually put your headset on, you actually connect the headset, you're going to get a totally different sound as to when you don't have them on. That's the one thing. And then obviously if you open your windows, the sound will change. This thing is freaking awesome, actually, the way that the guys built it. Alright, for our purposes, I'm just going to disable the yoke there. Yeah, I hope it will be a smooth flight. There's no reason to think it won't be, but you never know. Right, so we can put our battery and the masters on the beacons, nav, and we can prime the engine a little bit with this fuel pump of ours. Okay, so if I take my headset off, listen to this. You hear the sound changes immediately, and if you open our windows, you can actually hear the wind come past us.
TOS system test OK.
Alright, so let's have a look, see how are we going to taxi. We'll be taking runway 27 and then do a right turn out to our first VOR on the right hand side, and then go on to our autopilot and just follow the route. Nothing happened. I'm just doing all the pre-flight run-ups and checking the magnetos and all these things, because this aircraft actually simulates them. And we're ready to go. No, when I go or something similar, then you worry with me. Till then you're okay. Yeah, this is not the Zebo, so I'll get used to it over the coming weeks of flying it, but I'm not used to flying this aircraft anymore. Not by a long shot. It's reasonably smooth, yes. Hope it stays that way. For the off-airport scenery, everything that you guys are looking at is the Southern California from Orbx. So this is, well, most of this tour will be over Orbx country, and obviously then all the airports will be Orbx airports, but you'll see the difference when we leave Orbx country. It's totally different in P3D then. I'm also not going to be very worried about IFR versus VFR. I can do both, so I'll just fly and take it as it comes. I'm not going to file a specific plan, not flying on any network as such, so we just fly as we see fit at that moment. Like going through these clouds, I honestly am not going to go fly around them right now. It's really not necessary. Not for what we are doing here. Not sure. Not sure what beep you heard. Could possibly have been something with the autopilot. Right, our cruise altitude is 6,500 feet, so we're almost there. I'm not sure what Lockheed Martin did with this latest release of P3D, but because I don't fly it every day, I immediately noticed the smoothness. It's much more smoother than anything I've experienced with P3D before. The performance is really much better. I'm currently pushing between 36 and 50 frames per second. I tried locking it, but then it's a total mess. Then I struggle to get 20 frames. So I've set it to unlimited, and I tell you what, you can see it is absolutely smooth. It is fantastic to fly, and I've not had this experience with P3D in ever. Maybe in 2 versions ago or so, but the last few. Ever since I went 64-bit, I haven't been happy. This is the first 64-bit version that I'm super excited about, very happy with. Hi Javier, good evening. Coming back to the performance, just one more thing. I have never been able to set my settings this high and still have this kind of frame rate. It's mind-boggling what happened, how they did it. I just love it. The settings are super high compared to what they've been, and I'm getting smooth performance. It's really good. Miles, jump in quickly. Let's see. Guys, if anybody else wants to join Discord, you're welcome. The link is in the description below the video. Just please use push to talk. It's my only requirement, guys, please. And also the other thing is, please stay on topic. Because this is a stream that I want to keep, I really don't want to talk about other stuff except for what we're busy with. And that's not to be nasty, it's just a friendly request. Hello, Miles.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
Great stuff.
Nice. Yeah, this is a very smooth flight, even though it started a couple minutes ago.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm using historical weather. Like I said, the real world weather was horrific when I did the flight planning just now. So I didn't want to take a chance and then, not be able to enjoy the flight because of all the bumps and stuff, and then also get to the destination and not be able to land because I can't see the runway. So far so good.
Yeah, I agree. Really nice view, like when you're looking around the plane, you can see all the clouds. It's just very cool.
Absolutely. I'm doing it right now. You should see it in 10 seconds. There's some awesome cloud around here.
Yeah.
Do you also fly any of the simulators?
I fly in other simulators.
Okay.
I don't have this simulator, I have a different one. Like, the one I have doesn't have the best graphics ever, but I still think it's cool.
Okay.
So yeah.
This is really cool. Well, I'm going to land at Catalina. Alright, and then depending on how much time is left, because I don't want to sit here the whole evening, I'm going to try and go for Santa Barbara. If I see we're running out of time, we'll stop at Catalina and then just do Santa Barbara next week. And then I'm going to literally take each leg one at a time. Maybe do one or two hops depending on the length of the hops. And like I said in the description, it's going to take approximately 42 hops to get to our destination. That's 4,270 nautical miles lying ahead of us. So it's going to take us a couple of weeks to do that. I'm not going to fly every day, but when I get a chance, I'll do a bit of a leg and see where it goes to from there.
Okay.
What I like about the atmospheric conditions right now and our cruise altitude, the combination gives us 156 knot ground speed, which is really good. I've just gone through a bit of a ballooning situation, so we had a bit of an updraft, which is also nice. That's something else that I've noticed with P3D in the latest version, is you actually have a very similar experience to X-Plane, where you can actually see and feel the wind have some proper effect on you. It's way better than what I can remember P3D was.
How's it, Nico, Miles, Wings?
Hello. Hey, Emil. Hey, John.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
I'll tell you later.
All
You
right.
won't believe it anyway.
Okay, no worries. Well, okay, let me quickly go. So John, I think you were here last night when I did this first stream. I called that episode 00. That was like the trial. So this is the proper start of this tour. I figured out how to do a couple of extra things, and I decided to give a better show than what I did yesterday. So I'm showing a bit more of the scenery. I figured out how the chase plane works with the cameras, and I can actually move freely around in the sim. So I'm more happy with the presentation now and what we're going to do in the next 41 legs after this. So I just wanted to start again with a proper splash screen, start the video again, and just do it properly. You know me, I'm a perfectionist. Like someone else we know, I just don't
It's got to be
like.
done right, or it
Yeah,
ain't going to be done at all.
yeah, exactly. So I spent some time today while we were all chatting. I was making a nice splash screen for the video and did a couple of different things. So I'm feeling much better, and now it's like I'm in the tour. You know, my whole mental attitude, whatever else, you know, I'm now physically and spiritually into this tour. And what I also decided on doing is I'm going to do this GA stuff over the weekend on a Sunday, so that Saturdays remain my Zibo days. So we do the European section in the morning for all us guys, and then we do the one at the evenings, our time obviously, for the Americans who just woke up and want to see the Zibo as well. I thought about it. I don't want to mess around with my Zibo time on a Saturday, you know, so this just makes more sense doing it this time.
Okay, and I know you already know 18 has been released.
Oh yeah, no, I've already updated mine. We're going to have to discuss the flow of information a little bit at some point in time, me and the boss, so that we can actually get in line with those things as well. But I saw it was out and I took it.
Okay, well, yeah, I've just done it as well. I've done a rebuild, second rebuild today.
Okay.
Flying pretty high.
Well, I'm at 6,500 foot now, which is not that high. It's above where we need to be. We can do at 4.5, but I decided 6.5 just because of the performance. Like I said already, we get decent performance up here. We're down to 140 knots already. The lower you go, the more friction there is in the air, the slower we're going to go. So we're going to burn more fuel, waste more time. Whereas at this altitude, we've got a nice combination for the distance. Hello, Captain Foxtrot. Welcome to the stream. Right, so we proper over the water now. This leg itself is about 50 nautical miles. Sorry, miles?
Been over the water for a good amount of time.
Yeah, but that was like next to the coast. Let me explain. Let me show you what I mean proper over the water. Where is my little nav map? If you look at the little nav map now, you can see there we're proper over the water. The previous leg was over the water but right next to the coast. You see there. So now we've left all safety of the beach, so to speak. I'm reading beach and I'm saying beach, but you see now we literally proper over the water. So that was like
life jackets on.
Yeah, life raft available, all those kind of things. So now we're heading towards that VOR, then we'll do a left downwind for runway 22 and land over there.
Let's hope we don't get hit. Bad weather.
No, there's no bad weather today. I'm using historical weather because I saw there was bad weather. Sorry, Emil, you were saying?
Nah, so I had a bit of an issue last week. My motherboard got fried.
Ooh.
So yeah, I was using a 4th generation CPU, so those motherboards are not available anymore. So I had to do an upgrade. So I'm now on a nice generation, not the best CPU. It's an i5 9400, but at least I can.
Yeah, that will help you greatly now.
Okay. I don't think I've ever seen a flight that goes. I don't think I've ever seen a flight that's in a flight simulator. And when someone's streaming, that it's so smooth. And like you took off like 20 minutes ago.
Yeah, the weather's got a lot to do with it, but if you look very closely to the screen, you should see there's a bit of turbulence. This aircraft is not 100% steady because of the air. You know, there's a little bit of turbulence there. But this is perfect. I can lower this. It's not going to make anybody bath, you know.
Okay.
That's classed as a mill pond.
Yeah. Look at that. You see it's shaking a little bit. There's definitely a bit of turbulence there. But it's lovely. I mean, this makes it proper.
Makes it like a normal plane ride.
Where are you streaming, Niku?
YouTube.
YouTube, okay.
Javier, sorry, I think I might be misunderstanding you then. Are you looking for liveries? I've just typed it for you, but let me ask you as well. Are you looking for liveries? Is that what you're actually looking for? Beg your pardon?
But he only sees the British Airways library.
Yeah, that's a livery. So let me do this. Livery liveryfinder.info. Please have a look at liveryfinder.info, or otherwise you're going to have to go to the Zibo, the official Zibo forum on the org. They've got a special section for livery. So if you're looking for more than just British Airways, you're going to have to find it on that side. Hello, Marius.
Hello, everybody who just joined.
Marius, we're quickly redoing the flight from last night because I've discovered a few new things, and I've also decided to do it more proper, you know, for the future, because there's 42 legs waiting for us, and I didn't want to start the whole series, you know, in such a lackadaisical fashion. So I just decided we're going to start over and we're going to do it properly, and then take it as it comes. I've also decided that I'm going to use my Sundays to do these GA flights so that I do not interfere with the Zibo time on a Saturday. So just to put you in the picture, that was the couple of decisions that was made today.
Okay, that's useful for me.
Yeah. Hey, William.
Hi there.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Miles, guys. He's a new follower / subscriber. He likes the channel, so he got himself onto Discord. If any of you guys want to join us on Discord, you're welcome. The link is below the video. Yeah, Marius, I know. I think the question of flying GA has come up a few times now in the last couple of weeks, and also then the decision to have a proper scheduled time. It's difficult to really schedule, but I think if we can say Sundays, we're already closer to a physical lockdown of a type of a schedule. So then we know Sundays will be GA days.
I see with the new Australia version 2 coming out, we should do something there as well.
Yeah.
Do you do any other flight simulators on YouTube?
I only do P3D very seldomly. I'm gonna obviously do this whole tour with it, but actually my main simulator is X-Plane. Miles, I tend to stick to X-Plane. It's in my mind a much better simulator than P3D, although like I mentioned, But whatever these guys did in this last update, it really appeals to me. It really speaks to me. So who knows? I might come back here for more flights in P3D. But the main one obviously is Zebo, and Zebo is next plane, so I stick there.
Okay.
Marius, I'm not sure, but off the top of my head, I would think anytime on a Sunday. It all depends on the family, it depends on church in the morning, it depends on a couple of things. So I would say from about 1200 Zulu onwards, anytime could be relevant. So the best would be to subscribe to the channel and to watch out for the actual schedule that comes up, because I do schedule the flight ahead of time when I have a time. You know, so I go there an hour or two before the time and I say, okay guys, I'll start the stream at XYZ time. So just keep an eye on the channel and the notifications. What's wrong, Miles?
Little tired, but not that much. Yeah, I see
Okay.
land.
Yeah, that's Catalina.
We're landing. It's a smooth landing.
I hope so too.
Getting closer to it every second.
For sure.
Guess we'll find out what's gonna happen.
Absolutely.
I don't see the runway yet.
No, it's too far.
Oh. That explains it. Definitely closer.
Yeah, we're creeping up. I'm just quickly working on the next leg. I've exported and imported it from my flight utility into the Garmin here, so that we have it available when we need it.
Sounds good.
Alright, there we go. So the next leg is going to be from Catalina to Santa Barbara. Going to initiate the descent now. We've got some cloud cover there over that hill right next to the airport. So if my guesstimate is right, approximately where the mouse is pointing at right now, you'll see in a couple of seconds, that's where the airport is. So we're going to have to check out that cloud over there. I'm not sure how far in front of the airport it is towards us, or if it's going to be an influence at all. We'll have to check. We'll have to see. In actual fact, why don't we just go this side? We're going to land from this side anyway. So instead of doing a left downwind, we're going to just do a left base entry into the circuit there. That might be more sensible with that cloud cover.
Okay.
Marius, we've got Join FS available, and yes, we can use it, but I'm not on Join FS right now.
Pouring rain like an hour ago where I live.
Are you close in this area, Miles? Do you know this area?
No, actually. I am in the United States of America.
Well, this is the United States of America, so the question is, are you close to this area?
No.
Okay.
I'm more closer to like New York and yeah,
Okay.
in the west, not the west of the country. What did that button do?
That is the fuel pump.
Oh.
The last thing we want is fuel starvation when we need to maybe do a go around. Right, so that is our runway over there. You should be able to see a little flicking light. It's flickering over there. That's our poppy light. And that's the actual airport buildings with the runway over there.
Okay. If I'm doing my calculations correctly, we should land safely.
Yes, yeah, we all hope so. We all hope so. How's it, Craig? I only noticed you crept in here so silently just now.
Good evening to you. Hope you're all had a great day. Question for you, Nico.
Yeah.
Just installing the Orbx stuff.
Yeah,
Do you don't the overlay folder once it's complete?
yeah. What
Right,
about
okay.
what about the overlay? Sorry, you're a bit soft. Greg,
I can't hear him that well.
I did miss something. I heard something about an overlay folder, and then you went quiet.
Yeah, same.
It's fine. I'm sure he'll come back to us just now.
Sure hope so.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. Really nice guy.
Hi guys, any better?
Much better.
Oh yes, that is a lot better.
Ah, great. So quick question for you, Nico.
Yeah.
With the Orbx stuff, I've followed your tutorial. It's still downloading, but do you only get the overlay folder once it's all complete?
Yes, at the very end.
Ah, perfect. I thought I missed a trick because I was just
No.
following on your video for the sort of installation.
Sure.
And
Sure.
it was saying that I needed an overlay folder, and I was thinking, oh, maybe I've missed something here, but no, that's great.
Well, if you go to that page where you select the tiles and before you click on batch build, the very last tick that you put in place is supposed to be to tell the system to make the overlays when it gets to that point. So I hope you got the tick in. Otherwise, that would also account for them not being there. I hope you understand what I mean.
Yeah, I've got the tick. You mean in the extract over?
500.
Yeah, that one. That's the one. Extract overlays. That if you've got that ticked, then you'll get your overlays.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, that's all ticked. It's going to take a good while for this to download, I think.
For sure.
It's downloaded to Southern England, but it's going to take overnight.
It'll be worth it.
Yeah.
If I wanted to stop the process,
You click
say
the
if I wanted
stop
to
button.
shut down the PC,
Yeah, just
can
click
you
stop.
restart it again?
Just run the same procedure, it will continue where it left off. But you have to use the stop button, because otherwise if you just close it down, you might have a corrupt file. You understand? So you have to make sure that you use the stop button and wait for the process that is currently running to actually stop.
Right, okay, great. I'll probably just let it continue, but that's good to know.
Sure. Right, guys, the moment of truth is about to hit us. Let's see. How
Will
good
we
or how
land
bad.
safely?
We hope
Are
so.
my
We'll soon find
calculations-
out. Don't forget, this is the first time he's ever flown an aeroplane.
Yeah.
Are my calculations correct? Let's find out.
Oh, and there we do the bounce again. I thought we were soft enough not to bounce. This is not an easy plane to land, but at least it's not bouncing and breaking any struts or anything, you know, so.
You're just lucky it didn't bite you.
Yeah, exactly. This aircraft, if you don't treat it nicely, it bites.
I have one question. What is your private hangar?
That is something that you need to click on and go find out. It's all my resources that I'm willing to share with you guys. So it's all free stuff. It's got checklists and all kinds of configuration files and also all these
I'll
kind
have
of
to check
things.
that sometime.
Yeah. Marius, I'll explain the left base and the downwind thing for you just now. Let's just quickly go and park this aircraft and then we can spend a bit of time on it.
We should just be happy we landed safely.
Oh yeah, we did a good job there.
Except we bounced once, but who cares?
Yeah, that wasn't a big bounce. That was just a kiss bounce. So let's quickly switch off our avionics and Got our fuel.
You put one passenger with you, right?
Yeah, I've got one passenger with me.
Can you like see the passenger?
Only from the outside, I'll show you now. I wish we could see everybody from the inside, but unfortunately this aircraft does not allow that.
That sucks.
So, why are you not allowing us to come closer? Hello? Here we go. Emil, what link is that?
That's a,
Uh,
it
PACIF.
tells you about base, downwind, and the whole
Oh,
circuit. So
okay,
that
okay.
it's quite explanatory.
Alright, we're gonna have a look at that as well. Alright, so I just want to actually get into the free camera mode so we can actually move around this place. Come on, get out. Now it's thinking, please don't bomb out now. There we go, now we can actually walk around. Right, let's quickly show this URL and go have a look there. Maybe it makes my life easier. Ah, there we go. All right, Marius, if you can open this link, then it's going to be much easier to explain to you what all the stuff is. Tell me when you've got it open. Thank you, Emil. This is actually a very nice graphic. Very, very nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, for sure. Wow, this is nice. See, in last night's stream, I was looking for this function to actually fly around like Superman, and I couldn't get it going. And this is one of the silly reasons I decided to do it again. And as you can see, it's actually quite cool. Look at the bounce in my step when I walk around. And she's still fighting, I'm telling you. She's waiting for that boyfriend or husband or somebody that's just left her here on the island. Maybe I had enough of her nonsense. I don't know. Let's walk past. Excuse us, lady. Ooh, this is cool. There's grandma as well. Ooh, I walked through a wall. Sorry.
What the? Are those like real people or are they just people on the wall?
Well, no, that seems to be painted on the wall. It's like a mural. And that lady is like a real person. You see, she's moving. Wow, these guys put a lot of effort in here. Then we've got this map of the island. Huh.
Cool.
Oh, this is nice. This is a nice mode. Now we can actually walk around here. Apparently, we need to go pay $25 at the tower. Hang on, let's see if we can go in here. Ooh, careful, cactus. Oh, no door over here.
Okay.
Marius, are you still there? I'm waiting for you.
I think he is. I don't know.
Well, he needs to open that link and then I can explain to him much better. Wow, this is so cool.
Is this a freeway one or is this
No, this is all
private?
Orbx. All Orbx. Right, Marius, tell me when you've got it open.
Oh,
Superman.
he's here.
Yeah. Here you go, guy. Here's your 25 bucks. Thank you very much for allowing us to park here. Nice seeing you, dude.
He's got his camera out. He's ready.
He was so impressed with us coming here. He's taking shots.
Taking shots of that sick plane we flew.
Oh. Oh, and he's short.
Just
He's very short. Oh,
That's
yeah.
quite cool, actually.
Sorry?
That's quite cool.
Yeah. Oh.
sick.
Right. Okay, let's quickly do this. So, Marius, if you look at that graphic, it's got a couple of things listed for you there. The first thing that you need to look for is the word downwind. Oh, come on. I need to get this angle correct. And then just move out a little bit. Ooh, this thing is sensitive. All right, so if you look at the graphic, you've got your runway in front of you. So you've got downwind, which is on the side. Okay, if we talk about left downwind, it means that all our turns to get to final is going to be to the left. If we talk about a right downwind, it means that all our turns are going to be towards the right. And if you talk about the actual downwind, if you look at the tower below us, you usually call downwind when you are a beam with the tower. So in this area that I'm showing you in the video. So if you are on a right downwind for the runway we landed, you would have called somewhere where the mouse is over there. And if we were on a left downwind, we would have called somewhere close to where we are now, which means that we would then fly on a left downwind in that direction, keeping the runway on our left until such time as we turn base, which will then be a left turn like we did now. And when we turn finals, we turn left again facing the runway. So that's the difference in the downwind scenario. Now, what happened to us is we didn't come to this area, fly in that direction and then turn left. We actually came in over the sea on that side, which means that it was closer for us to get to base. So instead of doing the downwind flight, we just entered into base, if that makes sense to you. So if you look at that infographic, and if you look at where I'm pointing at now, that's the threshold, obviously, of the runway. We literally came in from the side closest to the threshold. We didn't come in from the middle of the runway, which would have been a downwind. So we just entered in a base. I hope that makes sense. If I can maybe just add this. If we were in a downwind situation, we would have had to make one left turn and two left turns. Because we entered in a base, we were flying in this direction. All we had to do is make a single left turn onto base. I hope that makes sense. Wow, but this is awesome scenery, guys. I think you'll agree with me there. This is really, really good looking scenery. All right, okay, Marius.
Okay.
Man, you know what? With this camera, you can actually come and hike around here. Look at this. You can actually physically, if you really have time, come and hike. If you're really bored one day, you can actually come and walk here. Wow.
Well, I have to go. I gotta do homework, which is really boring.
Shame. I'll give it your best shot. And
So, thanks for
that's
letting me be in the stream, and I'll talk to you the next time that you're streaming.
100% Miles. Stay well.
You too. Goodbye.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Bye, Miles. So how old is he?
Not sure. He's probably 12, 13, I guess, if even. Right, so just to recap on the purpose of my stream. First of all, it's a dream to fly this route all the way from San Diego up to Juneau. I bought the sceneries. I never used the sceneries, so I might as well do it. I'm not sure how much you guys are going to like flying with me, but you are obviously here for a reason, and you seem to like it, so I thank you for it. You're obviously welcome to join me. This is going to take me weeks to complete, and like I said, we'll do this on a Sunday. And part of the idea behind this story is I want to have a look at the scenery that I bought, which is cool because then I can see people walking around and butterflies and all these things, you know. You're welcome, Miles. Where's that woman? Where's the butterfly? Maybe even more important. That thing flew away. So I think this for me will be a dream come true to actually just complete this this tour, you know, and actually
Very
enjoy the
impressive
Orbx
scenery.
scenery. Yeah, I'm really impressed with the scenery. Let's stalk her. See if we can catch her.
Somebody's put a lot of effort into this.
Absolutely. Come on. Let's do it this way. Let's surprise her. Yeah, I'm just gonna have some fun, and if you guys want to join me, awesome. You know, there she comes. Boo! Oh, she's gonna walk through me. Oh goodness. All right. It's funny. Let's go back to our plane. What time is it now? 20 past 8. Yeah, it's getting a bit late now. All right, I'm gonna call it quits for tonight, and then next Sunday, if possible, I'm gonna start earlier. I'm gonna try maybe from 12 o'clock Zulu onwards. You know, maybe get 2 or 3 legs in then, and from Catalina we're going to fly to Santa Barbara. Let me quickly get the flight plan on for you. Okay. My wife just told me that we're expecting family next week, Sunday. Okay, so it just means that it won't be 12 p.m. Zulu time. We'll just do it when they leave, which will probably be, I would think, 1300 Zulu then. Something like that, guys. We're just going to play it as it comes, you know, but keep an eye out, have a look out for the stream at some point in time on Sunday. Right, okay, so just to quickly put you guys into the picture before I say goodbye, that is Catalina where we are at. We're literally going to fly to Santa Barbara. What is the flight plan distance? Our flight plan distance is 102 nautical miles. So we should also use about an hour, hour and a half on the stream, and that will be good. You know, if we've got a time constraint, we'll stop there. If we don't have a time constraint, we shall move on. What's the next leg? That's our next leg. You see that? That's going to be a bit of a push. If we had more time on Sunday, we could have done 2, but we'll do the Santa Barbara one then at least next week Sunday. And that will be our GA project for the next couple of weeks. Marius, buddy, I hope you enjoy your quick hop there in Cape Town, and send my regards to everybody there who knows me. Where's this thing? Little nav map. Alright, sorry, you guys didn't see this. Let me show you. I'm talking so much I forget to put it on. That is Santa Barbara at the top there, so we're going to do that leg definitely. That's about an hour's worth of flying, including a couple of minutes looking around. And the next one after that is this one, which is going to take a little bit more time. So we're going to use more time on the next Sunday for this one. And that's the wrap for me, guys. I thank you for being here. It was awesome. We're going to do this next week. And in the interim, if you're looking for me in the week, I'll be on Twitch. And we'll speak to you soon. Bye-bye.